Well, you got this. Sorry about all that. I swapped the screens before we were ready. But so I guess, Paul, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, we're finally back. I went back and looked. Last time we got on air, Paul, was April the 5th. So it's been a little while.
Lots happened.
Yeah, a little bit's happened. We've had some more Derby prep races leading up to this Saturday. So welcome into Cash and Tickets, brought to you by Poolsidebets. I'm Franklin, that's Paul, and this is our Kentucky Derby special, one of our favorite days of the year. So we're going to give you lots of talk about horses today. So again, coming up May the 6th, the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby. The tentative post time for the Derby is 6:57 p.m.
It's gonna be a long day.
And that may be Eastern.
Still
When I
gonna be
looked
a
that up, it
long
may be.
day.
Look at DRF. DRF will tell you what's the actual time there for the Derby race 12. Yeah, so 5:57 Central Time for those of you who live around us. That's close to 6 o'clock. Still a long day. So the 149th running of the Derby starts Saturday, and we're here to talk to you about all the horses that are in it, or at least the ones that we like, or the ones that we don't like. So I guess we'll just get into it whenever you're ready, Paul.
Yeah, how you want to start?
Or anything else you want to say? Hello, hi. It's been a minute, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. We're back. We do the best we can. This is a big day for us. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on in our world. This is kind of like the opening day of hunting, fishing.
Oh, man, I totally forgot something. Hold on just a second. You go ahead.
Good Lord, he's got a hat or some sorts. Yeah, no, it's a really big day. We all shit. Yeah, well,
That's hat number one.
yeah, well,
That's not Saturday hat, but it's podcast hat.
well, they gotta look the part. That's all that matters. No, I kind of want to just kind of go through. You just run down the horses real quick.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to our, I got the horses here. I got the entries. So there we are. Kentucky Derby. All 20 horses and the 3 also eligibles. And the post that they got coming up for Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, and just one note there on Disarm. I put down Joel Rosario because they actually had him listed, but on a couple other spots they show as no jockey for Disarm. That's only because Rosario's first choice is Cyclone Mischief, who's also eligible. So if there's a scratch and Cyclone gets in the race, Rosario is going to get off of Disarm and ride Cyclone Mischief, and we won't know who that jockey for Disarm will be until Saturday, until they announce any, or if they announce scratches on Friday, or whenever somebody scratches out. So there's the 20 horses. Anything jump out at you when you look at the horses and the post that they got?
No, I just I immediately tossed the one. I know that the way they do the gates now are a little different, but it's still, and you got 20 horses and they're all trying to get to the same spot. It kills the first 3 horses, in my opinion. I just don't like it. I know they've tried to correct that, but you're talking about a lot of
it's so much traffic,
of meat coming down on top of you.
No doubt.
Awesome.
We saw it happen to a horse that we really liked 2 years ago in Known Agenda.
Yep.
Got completely caught up in the wash from the one and just never had a shot. Never had a chance.
I did some fun fact looking for the Kentucky Derby, and estimated number of mint juleps drank.
That'll be a good number.
120,000. That's a lot. $3 million goes to the winning horse. 600,000 goes to the second place horse. 300,000 goes to third place horse. So this thing is a big deal for everybody involved. You'll see a lot of these horses will run this race, and you won't see them again. They'll go to stud. So this is kind of where they make their hay, so to speak. I got some other fun facts. We'll go through them later if you want to.
Because there'll be some here, if they don't win the Derby, they'll skip the Preakness and wait for the Belmont if they think they have a horse that wants to go longer. Like Tappet Trice, if he doesn't win here, he'll probably skip the Preakness. The Brad Cox horses will probably skip the Preakness, except for maybe Verifying, because he's a speed horse and the Preakness is a shorter race.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You just want to start at the one and walk them down, kind of.
I've got a whole list of information, so we can kind of go down and give just our thoughts. So we'll try to not to make it too long because it's 20
Nah.
horses. But yeah, we can give thoughts on each horse, what we think, what we see, and I've got a sire and damn list over here if you want to say who these horses are out of. So we'll start with the one out of Candy Ride. He's going to be ridden by Franco. He's a Brad Cox horse. He is a gray. Comes in. He gets the board at 30-1 morning line, Paul.
That's the one I toss him.
That's it? We're just throwing.
No, I mean that's it. The only reason he's a good horse. He can run. He's fast. It doesn't matter though. When you got all that mass, but he's not gonna come out of the one post, drop all the way back, go all the way around 20 horses, and come around the outside. He's just not gonna be able to do it. It's no.
Yeah, that like Paul is saying, that's the thing. He's got stamina everywhere. His EQ speed was a 99. I don't have his latest. His last buyer speed was a 93 at the Wood, where he got beat by a 59-1 shot. Lord Miles, who's in the 19th post, and that day hit show came from the outside. So a trip's going to be difficult for him to find, and he's not a speed horse, so he's not one that's going to get out on the lead. And if you're not trying to get out the lead from the one post, you're just going to have trouble.
And he doesn't break horrible, but he doesn't break well either. It's just no. I mean, I no.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for something, you would have to try to hope you could get him in some kind of try or superfecta, but I don't see him as a win.
It's a lot of ask.
Yeah, I just don't see him as a win contender here today, Saturday. So we'll go to the number 2, another Brad Cox horse. That's Verifying out of Justify. He ran a 102 EQ last time, but a 99 buyer.
Only thing I like about this horse is the trainer jockey combination. He's a front runner. He's got Tyler G, and Tyler G knows how to get the front runners to the lead and win the race from the lead. I don't like the post position. Like I can't. I mean, I know it's kind of redundant, but when you see these horses come out of that gate, and I showed a picture of the Franklin earlier, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, that's what's so hard about the Derby is you have to get the right trip. You may not, the best horse may not like. I mean, obviously last year Rich Strike won that race because they went too fast early, and he caught caught all these horses where it broke down up front late, and he just passed them all because he had enough stamina left. Yeah, I mean, Verifying he's going to have to go from the 2 posts. Is going to have to go, and he's got the jockey to do it. Yeah. He's got some speed. Like I said, he ran a 99 buyer in the bluegrass where he battled Tappet Trice right down to the end. And honestly, if you're going to have a jockey that's going to get you there from the 2 posts, they got the best one in Tyler G. Not only does he know how to take a speed horse out to the front, he's also magnificent at Churchill Downs. He's got like 6 jockey titles at this track. So
at 15-1, it's showing blinkers on. I just don't. The post. It's just I just can't. I can't.
Well, he's gonna have to go. That's the thing. He's gonna have to go fast. I mean, and really fast. Because if he doesn't get out there quick enough, he's gonna be caught up in the wash, and then he's just gonna be in trouble. Yeah.
All right.
Lots of trouble. So we'll move on to the number 3. That is 2 Fields. He is a hard spun horse. He is trained by Larry Velli, and Jareth Loveberry is the jockey for the 2 Fields.
No, I'm still harping on the same kind of inside. Don't really like it. 2 Fields is a really good horse, but his last big run came on a synthetic track. I'm not sure if that translates to the dirt well. I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the highest buyer speed in the field at 101. And again, he ran that on, like you said, he ran that on the synthetic. And that was against weak competition. I mean, his best competition was Major Dude, and he's a turf horse. They're sending him, because you'll see Major Dude Saturday. He's running in a turf race on Saturday. And even Major Dude had a big number on the synthetic. So maybe the synthetic was just fast that day. And 2 Fields got it done easily.
Yeah, just don't bet him on that number. Make sure there's something else you like about him besides his last race.
That's right. I see a lot of people liking him. It's probably going to bring, and I don't mind it. I hope they bet him, bring his odds down, and move those odds around, and give my horses I like better odds. But it's hard. Again, you're going to look at that speed, and it's going to be hard to deny that 101 that he ran. And if you watch that race, he won it easily. But it was a different turf. I mean, it was a different I don't know. I can't think.
It's
It
all
wasn't dirt.
synthetic.
It wasn't dirt. It
It
was
was
synthetic.
synthetic. I
So
don't know what the
anyway,
hell you're trying to
well,
do
I
with that.
tried to. Anyway,
Don't
it was
know.
different track. I mean, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Let's just
Yeah.
here we go. Before confidence game.
Yeah, confidence game, ridden by James Graham, trained by Keith DeZormo. Confidence. He's another Candy Ride horse. He won the Rebel. And I think that was a sloppy track. He beat Red Route 1, beat Reincarnate, ran a 94 by her that day.
He's going to be the one that takes the pace to whatever it's going to be. That's something else I want to talk about. What is a fast pace and what does it mean? Because that's how you, like, when you're capping these horses, you got to understand and know. And we all know you can't bet a horse mid race, but when it gets to the quarter pole and a half, and whatever that number is, and depends on what kind of horse you're on, it makes you feel better or worse, depends on where you're at. This is going to be one of the horses that go to the front, in my opinion. He'll be up toward the front, and then I mean, once he gets them to whatever pace they're going to, he'll be lost. We'll lose him.
Yeah, I don't think he can sustain it, but I think in the 4-hole he's going to have to go.
Yep.
James Graham's going to have to try to get him out there. I mean, but the last time he raced was February 25th in that Rebel. I don't know what to do with him. It was a decent race. It was a sloppy track. He still ran a 94 on a sloppy track, which is really good. But man, the layoff concerns me. And he's been up and down in works. Like they worked him and then they pulled him out and said, let's not work him. And then they said, we're going to work him again. I'm not sure if something maybe not be wrong with that horse. So I'm nervous about confidence game.
Like I said, he'll fade late, but he'll be one of the ones. He's one of the ones that you got to watch up front because I personally want a fast pace because that's kind of what I'm gonna be betting on, and I think me and Franklin may have different opinions on that, which who knows. But
I'm not. I think the pace is going to be honest. It's just not going to be last year.
Yeah.
There's no way it's going to be anywhere close to. I think people learned their lesson last year. I just don't think that's going to happen again. And there's not as many speed horses in this race.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we're talking about 4 or 5 that may be pace setters, if that. And there's some that are going to try to go. Like Verifying's going to go. He's not necessarily a pace setter. He's more of a 3-4 hole stalker. But he's probably going to have, since he's in the 2 spot, going to have to go. Confidence Gain is going to have to go.
Yeah, I think, but like Verifying comes again. There's a couple of these horses that the only chance they're going to have is to get clear and get out there, and hopefully
everybody else gets washed out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to the 5 horse, and that is Tappet Trice, who is morning line, the second choice at 5-1. He's ridden by wonderful jockey Luis Saez, trained by Todd Pletcher, who's got all the horses in this race. Outside of Brad Cox, Pletcher's got 3, but he's got 3 of the top horses here come Sunday. So Tappet Trice, last race, he got a 99 buyers in the Bluegrass where he held off Verifying. One thing about this horse, Paul, that I don't like is the post because he's kind of a stalker / closer. He's not going to be way at the back ever, but he's never going to be at the front. Because holy hell, have you seen him come out of the gate?
Yeah, we talked about this earlier.
Sleepwalks out of the gate, man.
He cannot get out of the gate, and I don't know. It's just such a big field. If he even half-assed just doesn't care to get out of the gate, I don't know. I don't know how he. I don't
Well,
know.
He doesn't care anyway, and if he cares less Saturday, it's going to be even more problems.
There's not a horse out there that he's run against that he's going to see on the top end speed of these. I mean, Verifying. It's nobody. I mean, even if he's not going to be able to run a Forte down, an Angel Empire down, he's not going. I don't think he does it. I just don't.
Well, I don't think there's enough track now. Once Tappet Trice gets rolling, he's a beast. He runs out good. He's got a sustaining drive in the last turn and in the home stretch, but he's got to get there. And I'm sure everybody watching and listening is going, well, okay, he can just sit back and get there. The problem with doing that is in the 5-hole, you got so many horses outside of you that are trying to do the same thing. They squeeze you, and then you get behind, and there's nowhere to go to get your spot. He's never going to be able to get 4 or 5 wide and sit comfortably 4 or 5 wide and make that stretch run because he likes to be outside and come around and make that run. He can't get there from the 5 post.
I'm not sure any of these horses have been in a 20-horse field except for maybe, what, I don't know, Dermatatoga?
Sotogake. I don't know how many they had in the UAE. It was a lot though.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, you're talking about trying to come up through a field and pick a lane with just a mass of animals in front of you. Ugh.
And I get that Rich Strike did it last year, but if you watch that race, Rich Strike came from the 21 post,
and he was on the rail,
and he went straight into the rail behind everybody, and then as all those horses tired, you should watch it from up above. I mean, he just bobbed and weaved his way through there. So yeah, I think we're in the same thing here. Tapit Trice is a great horse. Don't get us wrong. I think he deserves to be number 2 on the board just because of his pedigree and his trainer and his jockey. But also he's a gray, and he's looking to be first gray to win since Giacomo in 2005, I believe. But I think he's great for the Belmont. So when we get to the Belmont, look out for Tapit Trice in the Belmont. I think right now he's the leading candidate to win the Belmont. So we'll go to the number.
Well, another thing about the post 5 and 10, they're the 2 winningest posts. So
okay, well,
it's not that he can't do it. It's just, is he the right horse for that?
I know
position?
that's the thing. He comes out of the gate too slow. Now, if all of a sudden they've taught him to break well, watch out.
If he comes out, which is too late. I mean, you're like, oh, look at this bullshit.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
you can't bet after they break.
That's just stupid. No live betting. No.
So we'll go to the number 6, who is a light raced horse. He only has 3 starts, but all 3 starts have been wins, and that's another Pletcher horse. That's Kings Barnes.
He's won us a little taste of money this year.
I think you nailed him right on the win hole that day at the Louisiana Derby. He went gate to wire pretty much there. Took care of business. Disarm was a 3.5 length second. And then Jace's Road was another 2 lengths behind Disarm. So it really wasn't close race there. And that was 1 mile and 3/16, I believe.
Yeah, I kind of see King's Barn, and
I think Kings Barnes going to have to go from the 6 too. Of course, he's kind of a front runner.
Well, yeah, it's confident. Him in Confidence Game, he's a little better horse than Confidence Game, but I still think once they come down that backstretch and you got I don't think he's got enough top end. I think he's going to get run down.
I think he's just too green.
Yeah.
3 starts, you're going to the Derby, all those people, all the hoopla going on all day long. Is he too young? And I think maybe he's too young. I think he's going to be a wonderful 4-year-old, late 3-year-old heading to the Breeders' Cup. I think he's a great horse. I just think he needs some seasoning.
Yeah.
But then again, hey, he could shoot out of that 6 and sit next to Verifying and run that thing down all the way.
Yeah.
So what else I have on Kings Barn? I think that's about it. I love the jockey.
I think he's going to be part of you're going to hear his name a lot Saturday afternoon, but you're not going to hear him at the end.
Well, and another thing to consider here is that this is the first ride for Jose Ortiz on Kings Barnes. Flavian Pratt had been riding Kings Barnes. He moves over to Angel of Empire, and Jose Ortiz gets the mount, and it will be the first time he's ridden him, and sometimes you just don't know if that jockey's had enough time to get to know the horse.
Yeah.
So we'll go to the 7. That's Reincarnate. This is a former Bob Baffert horse, trained now by Tim Yachtine, since Baffert cannot come to Churchill Downs, and ridden by Hall of Famer John Velasquez.
Just because Bob Baffert can't go there doesn't mean he doesn't have a finger or a needle.
Needle is the one.
I like everything about this horse except for the 50-1 odds. I like it, but it's just, I don't know. I got it on my notes. It's just like I just got nope.
Well, he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to go. And here's the thing I don't like the most is the trend. Here's his last 3 Beyer speeds. He ran a 95 in the Sham where he won. He dropped to a 90 in the Rebel, and then he dropped again to an 86 where he finished 3rd to Angel of Empire in the Arkansas Derby. So the trend, he's trending down.
No.
And I think he's a horse that has to go out for the lead, and I just don't think that's going to suit well for him. He's 2-3-2 and 7 starts, so he can hit the board. But man, in this field, I just don't think he's got it, and I don't like any of the horses Baffert's had lately. And there's been no success with Yachtine taking over Baffert horses.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you don't listen.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So I think we kind of sit the same with Reincarnate. I don't like the trend here. Yeah. So we'll go to the 8, and that is Mage. Mage is ridden by Javier Castellano, trained by Gustavo Delgado. And Mage is a good magic horse. He's got, again, another green horse. He's got 3 starts, but he's been steadily improving as, boy, we thought he had Forte in the Florida Derby down at Gulfstream Park.
15-1.
But could not hold him off. What do you think about Mage here?
I think he's going to be involved late. I love his post position. I mean, he's looked eye to eye with Forte, who, in my opinion, is the best horse in this race. I think he'll be there late. I just don't know where to put him. I'm not going to pick him to win the race, but I wouldn't be surprised if he places. I mean, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I wouldn't leave him out of a pick 4, pick 5. Also, I mean, I wouldn't. I would be. I mean, honestly, I'd probably be 6, 7 deep in this sumbitch.
On a win. Yeah, I know. I keep trying to toss horses, and then I see something and say, well, I can't completely toss him. Mage, I like. I liked Mage in the Florida Derby, and I love the way he improved. He's been constantly improving. Of course, you say it's only been 3 races, but man, I've watched that Florida Derby at least 7 to 8 times, and I've gone from, wow, look at Forte running down Mage in the last 16th of a mile. What a race by Forte. Oh. And then if you watch watch when Mage makes his move, it's way too early. I don't know what the jockey was doing there. If he bides his time and waits, I don't think that Forte ever has a chance to catch him. Yeah. And so I think so then I say in my mind, well, it was a jockey error. He made his move too early. But maybe he thought Mage had to make the move at that time. I'm going to get the jump on Forte, and maybe it'll keep Forte from, if he waits later, Forte may have tried to move up early, and then Mage may have never got him. Yeah. So it's really hard to handicap that race and what you got out of it. Obviously, Forte's a great horse, and for Mage to sit there and do what he did, and that move was fantastic. He looked strong when he made the move. I just wish he would have waited a little later. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mage hit the board. I just don't know if I think he's good enough to win it.
15-1 odds is tasty.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We like odds for sure. Speaking of odds, let's move to the 9 horse, Skinner. He comes out of the Santa Anita Derby where, my goodness, he finished 3rd and ran a 99 buyer where he was behind Practical Move and Mandarin Hero, but he finished a half a length behind. That's it. It was between those 3 horses. It was Practical Move, Nose, Mandarin Hero, half a length. I mean, they were all right there.
All right, so if you enjoy betting horses, but you give up easy on a race, don't bet the 9, because he will be in the back.
Yeah.
He's not gonna break out and just run away.
He's a closer for sure.
But I love this horse, man. This horse, I don't know. He's gotten better every time he's been on the track.
Every time.
And when they turn him loose, he keeps even. He don't care whether
he gallops out really well.
He don't give a shit where it is. He just keeps running. And if they'll time it right. He's got to have a really fast pace. Well, not a really. He's got to have
an honest pace.
He's got to be out there and going. And if he gets the pace he needs, a show would not be out of the question at all.
I'm almost positive I'm going to have Skinner in my exotics. My tries and my superfectas. I love the way he's improving. Now, you can say you're going to look at me and say, but Franklin, look at the PPs. He's 1 of 6. He's had 6 races. He's won 1, and he's got 3 shows. I'm like, okay, but if you look at each race and look at the times that he's running, look at the speeds, he's getting better every single race, and that's what you want to see. He just ran a 99. If he takes another step in this race and he's in the 9 spot, he's not going to have that much traffic. He can, if he breaks well, if he breaks well and sits mid pack early, he can get a good trip. Yeah. I don't know if he's good. And actually, man, I'd hate to toss him as a winner, but I do love him in the exotics, that's for sure. And
whenever they ask this horse to go, he just goes. And
he's if you want to talk about jockeys and trainers, he is got a first time jockey in Juan Hernandez. It's his first time riding in the Derby. But John Sheriff's, I'm not sure if he SHI, so Sheriff's, I guess.
Trainer, yeah.
He won his Derby debut with Giacomo, big upset in 2005. Mm-hmm. Who coincidentally was the last gray to ever win so he's got a lot going for him there. Trainer knows how to get it done. Yeah. The horse continues to improve, and he is a curling horse, which really raises my eyebrows.
Yeah, and the difference between him and Mage, just to talk about this briefly, one's 15-1, one's 21. Here's the difference: Mage won't be 15-1 come race time.
No.
Skinner may not drop that much. You might be able to still get Skinner at 18.
20, 18, 19.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. Mage ain't gonna. If Mage stays at 15-1, then we got a discussion to have.
Yeah.
But I think Skinner stays basically where he is.
The only thing that bothers me, Paul, is that in your exotics, the odds of the horse don't really matter much. It's all about where they're bet in the pools, and I'm scared there's going to be a ton of money on Skinner in the in the tries and in the show bets and in the try bets and in the superfectas, which affect the payouts.
Yeah, you just gotta.
The odds when it ends, the odds are basically just for the win. That's just going to pay on the win. The place and the shows, it's all about the pools. How much money was bet on that horse in that certain position. Yeah. So you want to try to pick horses you don't think are be bet hard in those exotics.
I'm still betting Skinner.
I like him. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't dislike him. I'm just saying those are things you got to think about.
I'm with you.
You don't think because you get a 50-1 is going to pay just massive in the third place. Yeah. But it just depends on how much money was bet on him in that position. So we'll go to one of the other contenders. It's number 10, another California horse. This is Practical Move, ridden by Ramon Vasquez. Don't get this confused now. He is a Tim Yakteen horse, but this is his horse.
Yeah.
This is not a Baffert horse. Yakteen has had this horse, and man, he's 3 of his last 3.
Yeah, with Vasquez in the saddle.
And he's ran 2 consecutive 100 buyers, a 100 in the San Felipe, a 100 in the Santa Anita where he held off Mandarin Hero and Skinner. You talk about a horse that's really moving up, and it's gotten my eye every time I've watched that race. It just, the more I read about him, the more I continue to like him. And I love the 10s. I love the position.
Yeah, 10 and 5. All the horse racing talking heads love this horse. 10-1. If he breaks good, no crazy stuff happens. His odds won't stay at 10-1. As much as people are talking about this horse, I wouldn't be surprised him at 5 or 4-1. I mean, they're going to be hammering this horse.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about pedigree. His sire is Practical Joke, but Practical Joke is an into mischief horse. And the dam is Act Naughty, which I really like. And then Act Naughty is out of a Fleet Alex. So I mean, he's got pedigree all over the place. Yakteen's done a great job with this horse. Ramon Vasquez continues to ride him well. And the Santa Anita Derby, look, if you want to see a horse really get after it, go watch the Santa Anita Derby before you make your bets on Saturday. This horse can absolutely go. So we'll go to the 11. Where I'm completely thrown apart. I have no idea what to do with this horse. This horse is...
I know why you're torn.
This is Disarm, who's got Joel Rosario, maybe, and he's trained by Steve Asmussen. It's a stalker horse. He's got his best buyer was a 90, where he got beat. He finished 3rd to first mission in the Lexington. It wasn't really, I think they just went out there to get points. They weren't trying to win that race. He finished 2nd to Kings Barnes in the Louisiana Derby, which wasn't a really good trip for him. But man, I mean, you got Richie Migliori, you know, a great jockey who's saying of all the horses he's looked at this week, Disarm looks the best. He's had the best workouts that he's seen so far. I got people thinking he's going to just continue to improve, and that he had excuses in his other races. I don't. I got. You look on DRF, you got two people picking him to win it. What am I missing here?
No, you ain't missing shit.
He's been wired in two slow-paced races. He doesn't finish strong.
No.
The Lexington was a bad race.
Rosario's a great jockey. Even if he does ride him, he can't save all this. I mean,
but all right. So here's what would tell me: Rosario's first choice is a horse that's not even in it.
Yeah.
Cyclone Mischief.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
I mean, if Cyclone Mischief gets in the race, Rosario's getting off of Disarm.
It's like, I'll ride this nag if I have to. I mean, contracts are contracts.
I mean, he's out of Gun Runner and as damn as Easy Tap, who was a tappet horse, but I just don't like the speed numbers. I didn't like the Lexington at all. He lost the first mission, who's going to go to the Preakness. He's not, so I think he's a toss for me all the way around. If I get beat by Disarm, then it's just I lose all the money.
Somebody made a lot of money. This wasn't us.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll just move on to the 11. Another horse ought to be pretty quick. Jace's Road. Here's one of your horses that's going to try to go from an outside post here. Jace's Road is the 12, 50-1, ridden by Florent Giroux. He's one of 4 Brad Cox horses. He just doesn't have the speed, but he's got early speed. He's going to have to try to set the pace. And I bet Brad Cox is going to try to send that horse to help his other horses.
That's what I'm hoping, that some of these horses go out there and run them, and then my boy Skinner lays them ears back and gets after them.
Yeah.
But I tossed this horse. This horse ain't, and I don't. I mean, I would have tossed Rich Strike last year, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a couple of wins, but he finished third to Kings Barnes and Disarm in the Louisiana Derby, and he only ran an 85 buyer.
He closes. He closes like I do.
He does. Well, because he gets out in the front. He's got to run. He's a.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it don't do nothing. I mean,
Those first 10 steps, you're hell.
There's a finish line somewhere. I just don't ever get to it.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are with Jace's Road. I mean, you got to hope that you see the 12 go out early, hopefully with Verifying and Reincarnate, and maybe bring along Confidence Game and maybe Kings Barnes and maybe set a better than honest pace. And then, boy, we're all in it if that happens.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 13. That's Sun Thunder, ridden by Brian Hernandez Jr., trained by Kenneth McPeak. We've seen Sun Thunder run before. I believe that was in the Risen Star where he finished, was it second? Yeah, finished second to Angel of Empire.
I like this horse as much as I do Skinner. It's
You like Sun Thunder?
I do.
Okay. Well, tell me. I got to hear it. I got to hear it.
Take what I said for Skinner and put it in for Sun Thunder.
What do you...
It's the Oro horse. You remember her?
Yeah. Okay.
It's she's. I mean,
an into mischief side.
If the only difference between Sun Thunder and Skinner's going to be in the back.
Yeah.
You're not, when they do the little bubble numbers, Skinner, you're not going to see the 9.
Not going to see this. You're probably not going to see this.
No, the 13 will be he might, but. I don't hate it for a show bet or a exotic, a superfecta. I mean, 10 cent, $2.40. Throw them in there. I mean,
he's never run a 90 buyer.
He can run. I'm telling you, this horse can run. He's good.
I
talked to his parents the other day.
He got 6 career races, and his highest buyer speed was an 89 in the Risen Star and the Bluegrass.
He's going through a breakup.
And in the Risen Star, he didn't even hit the board. Oh yeah, he was second.
Yeah,
he didn't hit the board in the Bluegrass. He got outrun by Tappet Trice, Verifying, and Blazing 7.
You ain't never caught a cramp.
He ran an 89.
Hey, if you want to leave a 50-1 horse out, you just go ahead and just do that.
Look, 2 days ago, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was typing this up, I almost got talked into Sun Thunder.
I don't hate it.
I just don't. I mean, I get it. Most of this is everybody's talking about what he did in the Risen Star. Man, that thing broke down, and Angel of Empire just kind of went by everybody. It was not a great race. I mean,
50-1.
Okay, 50 to 1. I mean, I mean, I get it, but all right. Well, so and if y'all are out there and you like big numbers that you want to put in your tries or superfectas, there's you one right there. You can tell them Paul told you to put Sun
Some
Thunder.
old PJ from
Yeah.
Poolsidebets dialed it in there.
All right, we'll move to the 14. That is Angel of Empire, ridden by Flavian Pratt, trained by Brad Cox.
He's gonna win.
He's a classic. He's out of Classic Empire. Look, I think Paul and I could probably speak for him right now.
We have let ourselves down.
We're not going to make this difficult. We've done it before. And the last time we did it, we were kicking shit, throwing tables, kicking chairs over.
Yep.
We completely disregarded Angel of Empire in the Arkansas Derby.
Yep.
Only because we were trying to get a price. So we're not, but he still went off at 9-2. It's 4.5 to 1. And we still would have made money, good money. But no, we were trying to get cute. Let's go out there and get cute. And I'd be damned if Angel of Empire didn't make it look easy. And he ran a 94 buyer, but he ran it so easy at the end, he probably could have gotten a higher buyer speed if he'd have just ran. I don't think he ran out. You know what I mean? Like, I think he just, like, the jockey's like, we got this. He was under a hand ride. He wasn't even getting whipped.
Yeah, that's why I don't really go after times too much. The reason I'm really excited about this Angel of Empire deal is he gets to look at Forte.
Well, that's the thing. He's right next door to the big one. He's sitting looking there, looking at him.
If they come around that back turn and Forte decides it's time to go and Angel Empire decides it's time to go and there's nobody in the way,
here we go.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I do too. I really, and that'd be great to see, just like we saw, in 2020 when Authentic and Tis the Law, they were the only two horses there. That was fun. Now, we were on the wrong side of that bet, but it was exciting.
Well, that's new, isn't it?
Being on the wrong side.
No, that's to me. Everybody likes to see that big horse coming from the back and you're just cheering everybody. Oh, here it comes! No. But these two horses, they're not going to be in the front. But
they're not even going to. Angel of Empire won't even be mid pack.
When it comes time for them to go, if Forte goes, I hope they're together. I want to see who the better horse is.
Angel of Empire usually waits later. But I think if Forte makes a move, like after the first turn, somewhere right before the second turn, if Forte starts to make his move up, Empire's going to have to go with him.
Yeah.
Because you can't let him get too far away or you'll never catch that big. You'll never catch him.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I'm going to bet him to win. I hope the odds don't fucking dive, but
and here I got something written down, Paul. You got a minute? Let me just talk about this.
Ramble.
So, all right. So we talked about gray horses, and I remember the first time we watched this horse. He's not a gray, but it kind of comes up because a gray hadn't won since 05, and other things have happened. And we talked about different posts and what's good and what's not. 5 and 10 are good. So I just thought I'd bring this up. Luis Saez is an incredible jockey. He's been doing it for a while. So I wish I'd had the year down here. Saez thought he had his Derby win when he was aboard Maximum Security some years back. And of course,
Don't he got kicked out?
it was the only Derby ever to have an inquiry that they made a change. And like a 40 to 1 shot or 20 something to 1 shot, Country House ended up getting the win because they DQ'd Maximum Security, who Luis Saez was riding. Well, when we originally watched Angel of Empire, the first race we watched him, Luis Saez was the jockey. Yeah. I remember us on the podcast saying we love this horse, and he was 13 to 1, 14 to 1. And we love the jockey and we love the trainer. And lo and behold, Saez wanted to stay at Gulfstream, so Flavian Pratt gets the mount in the Arkansas Derby. And and Pratt does have a Derby win to his name. So I thought this would be great to see Angel of Empire get the win, Brad Cox get the win. That wasn't and that's the other thing. The trainer, Brad Cox's only win was with Mandaloon, but after a DQ, after what, 6 or 7 months later when Medina Spirit got DQ'd.
Yeah.
So it's just so much going on here with this horse and the trainer and the jockey. And so, yeah, Saez gets off of Angel of Empire, and now Angel of Empire, ridden by Pratt, is one of the top horses. He's the third choice morning line, as you see. He's 8-1. So yeah, I love this horse. I like everything about. I like the way he looks on the track, and when he runs, I like his face. I mean, it's not just his running style.
Oh, it's hot in here.
Yeah, I know it's getting hot. When I see him every time they show him, I like everything about him. So I hope Brad Cox has him ready, and I think Brad Cox is being a little coy because I heard him on an interview the other day, and he said. He said, yeah, Angel's had some good works heading down to Churchill. He's got a good demeanor. And
I'll never again overthink it.
And I think he's just being coy because he said, I love verifying. So I think Cox really likes Angel of Empire. I think that's his best. He thinks that's his best shot. So we'll go to the favorite in this race, sitting there in the 15 post. That is your 3-1 morning line favorite, Forte, ridden by one of the greats out there now, Irad Ortiz Jr., trained by Todd Pletcher. He is out of Violence, which I don't know that I'd ever heard of, but Violence has two sons in this race. And Violence is out of one of them Doro horses that you love so much.
Blame also. Or Blame.
Well, on the dam side, the Queen Caroline is by Blame. So, yeah, and of course he's done it. He's got 6 wins out of 7 starts. And he's improved a lot each race. He's not – he ran 100, and then he ran a 98, and then he ran a 95 in that Florida Derby where he took over Mage late in the stretch. But he just continues to win. And he had a good gallop out past the wire, which – a lot of times you got to watch horses when they finish. If they stop at the wire, it's not a good sign. If they continue to gallop out and the pony's got to come get them, it's a good sign they still got plenty to go. So, Forte, Paul.
Exotics. I mean, you can't leave him out of your pick 4s, pick 5s, whatever. But you're not gonna win any money betting on him.
Nope.
Clearly the best horse in the field. Like if you're gonna do it on paper and by picture and by all that, but that's not how you do it. They got to run the race. I like Angel Empire better. I like Forte also, but I think Angel Empire will beat Forte. I got him 1-2, and then I got my other horse third. But anyway, so that's how I got it going. I got the 14, 15, 9. Angel Empire, Forte to place, and then Skinner to show.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, yeah, he's a great horse. I don't like the trend, but he just continues to win. So I don't know how to look at Forte here. He did overtake Mage, but Mage made that early move. I'm scared of that. But I think he deserved to be the morning line favorite just on what he's been doing over his 2- and 3-year-old campaign.
I mean, you can't. He's a really good horse. So it's just
absolutely.
I mean, how do you bet a 3-1, a 5-2 horse in a 20-horse field? You're just asking.
Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to bet Forte to win.
You're asking for heartache there.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's like, well, if he's the best horse, why don't you bet him? Well, because it's so hard for horses to win a race, in any race, whether it's an allowance race, it's a open claiming race, it's a stakes race, it's one of these, it's one of the Triple Crown races, a Breeders' Cup. It's so hard to win them. Because you don't know what kind of trip you're going to get. You don't know if they're going to get caught in the wash. They're going to get slammed down on the rail. They're going to get caught out too wide. Another horse is going to bump into them. The jockey's going to fall off. You don't
run into the rail.
Run into the rail and throw him off. I mean, you just don't know. So when you give me a horse at 3-1, and he's probably going to end up, what do you think, 5-2 in this race at post time?
Forte?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how low he's going to go.
I mean, why would I go put, say, $20
when
for him to
Max
win?
Throws his $2.5 million at him,
it's going to go
some
down.
of this might be even money.
I'd rather go throw a $10 win bet on, say, a Skinner or a Practical Move.
Or Sun Thunder.
Or I'm not betting Sun Thunder to win this race.
You know how many? You know how many horses with the letter S has won the Kentucky
oh my
Derby?
God! Of course you have this answer. Go ahead.
19 times. right there in a 19 hole.
Well, I know one, Secretariat. I know Seattle Slew.
Yeah.
I
didn't know you were gonna make me name them.
You didn't bring the names?
No, 19 of them though.
I know who finished second to Secretariat. Sham.
There you go.
There's an S for you.
Talk about a horse that would have been great.
Oh my God, he was born in the wrong damn year, wasn't he? If he just is born 1 year later, it becomes one of the greatest racehorses of all. It's so sad for him. That's just bad luck. So you want to talk about? Let's just go over it. Raised Cane, ridden by Gerardo Corrales. He's trained by Ben Colebrook. He is in the 16th post. He's another violence horse, just like Forte. I don't think he has a speed, and if he's going to have to drop down from the 16, I don't think he's a horse that's going to go because he's a closer, and I don't think he can close into this field.
You know what my notes say?
What?
Toss.
Yeah, I just, he's one of a ton of closers, and I don't think he has, facing this group of horses that he's facing, I don't think he has it. I mean, he didn't even place in the Bluegrass. He did win the Gotham, but it was just kind of a different race there. There wasn't a lot of competition there. He lost to Jace's Road sometime back in the Gun Runner. So, yeah, it's not a lot for me to look at. All right, here's a horse I want to talk about.
I know you do.
17, Derma Sotogake, one of your Japanese horses, and the reason being because this horse won the UAE Derby over in Dubai. And he's ridden by incredible jockey Christophe Lemaire. I would love to say his trainer's name, but boy. Odanashi, I think is his last name, maybe.
Yeah, we ate lunch with him yesterday. We call him OT.
All right, so here's what you're going to, if you've tried to look at the PPs, what you're going to find is you can't do anything. You have no clue because they don't do speed figures for the overseas horses. But if you listen to Randy Moss, who will actually be on the CBS broadcast, I don't know, I think it's NBC broadcast Saturday. He said he's part of the group that actually puts together the buyer speeds, and he said you can do some comparisons with other horses because they actually had some U.S. runners in that race and some other races that Derma Sotogake ran in. And basically can come up that he ran anywhere from a 106 to a 108 buyer, which would be head and shoulders above every horse in this race.
Yeah, I hear he can win on 3 legs.
He can. He absolutely can. He's very versatile, which I like. He can go to the front, which he did in the UAE Derby, or most of the time, it was the only time he ever went front, he was a front runner and made it look easy. I mean, I watched that race. It was no trouble for him, but hey, maybe the rail was hot that day. Maybe it was fast down low. I mean, then that happens sometimes. But he's typically a stalker, and from the 17 post, I don't think they're going to send him like most people think. I think he's going to drop down and watch what Angel Empire and watch what Forte does and hang out there somewhere.
So you don't think he'll go to the front?
I don't think so. I don't think they will. I mean, just because I think the only reason he went to the front in the UAE was because he was on the rail to start. I mean, he had the rail post.
Yeah, I got him going to the front.
It was literally his only race he's ever gone to the front.
Yeah, I know. But he's got 4 legs. He's got all 4 of his legs, and he's way better than everything else on the track. I don't.
Oh my God! Just because, look, you just want to talk. Look, there's a lot. He's got a lot going up against him, and I'll give it all to you, so you'll have all the information.
Yeah, give it to him now.
No Japanese horse has ever hit the board.
Not nary.
Which meaning they've never finished first, second, or third.
Nary one.
No horse has ever won from the 17 post.
Not a nary one.
And no UAE Derby winner has ever hit the board in the Derby. So it's a trifecta of things he's got to overcome.
And it's hard to compare. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, okay, well, this horse did this at this time, but it's still not apples to apples.
That's true. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're right. The only decent horse from the USA that was in that race, and he just ran horribly, was Country Grammar. and he had a bad race. So I don't know what. Again, it's hard, but I listen to the guys that. I mean, the guy helps make the damn buyer speeds, and he says that he ran a really good one. So I guess we'll find out Saturday.
To your defense here, and which I'm not. I mean, I got this horse finishing fourth. 10-1 odds means there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something there. And our girl Megan loves the breeding.
Well, I was going to bring that. It was funny you bring that up. Yeah, he is a son of Mind Your Biscuits. So I think he wins the sire name for sure.
Yeah. I just don't think he's gonna win, man. I my superfecta looks like
he's gonna be in my exotics for sure.
Yeah, I have the 17-4 conference game, Derma Sorogaki, conference game, reincarnate, verifying, Rocket King going to the front, hit show, Tabit Trice and Skinner in the rear. Derma Sorogake, Angel Empire Forte, make a move late.
Right, so you got him right where I think I got him in the same spot.
Going to be there. When they head for home, the 9 starts to make his move. I see Angel Empire Forte in a drag race coming home with Skinner closing. I got it Angel Empire 8-1 winning, Forte 31 play, Skinner 20-1 at the show, and well, I got practical move here.
Practical move, yeah.
For at the 4, but it could. I mean, you could flop. Either or there, but I'm not done with this yet because I don't know what the odds are going to be. And to be honest with you, I mean, I don't hate. I just there's so much working for him that like it's just you don't really know.
Yep.
And I'm superstitious by nature, so be hard. I couldn't. Betting a win, yeah, but I mean,
yeah.
I'm pulling for him.
Speaking of a horse you just mentioned that we hadn't talked about, the 18 is Rocket Can. We watched race a lot. Rocket Can, ridden by Junior Alvarado, trained by Bill Mott. He is an into mischief horse, and he's ridden a lot. He has had okay races. He's had bad races. He's been up and down in his buyer speeds. He finished out of the money in the Arkansas Derby. I think he was fourth or tied for fourth or something like that. What do you think about Rocket Can, his chances here?
I don't think he's
Saturday.
I don't think he's the top tier horse that can win it. He's that horse that you keep seeing his name show up in races. You're like, oh, I know that horse. I don't know why.
Yeah,
he's that horse. I don't think he's. I'm not gonna bet him on anything.
I mean, his best race was when he finished second to Forte in the Fountain of Youth. But my God, Forte won that by a mile.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 4.5 lengths. I mean, he was over Rocket Can by 4.5 lengths in that race. So I mean, it was too easy there for Forte, and then Rocket Can again ran up against Angel of Empire in the Arkansas Derby, and he couldn't even catch Reincarnate in that race, or King Russell, who ended up finishing second. So I don't like much about Rocket Can in this race. I don't think he can get there.
The last 3 horses, I just got a big nope on.
Yeah, and Lord Miles, boy, you talk about getting in the Kentucky Derby in a big way. This guy goes out. He's ridden by Paco Lopez, trained by Savage Joseph. He hits the boy. He defeats Hit Show, the 8-5 favorite, in the Wood Memorial up at Aqueduct by a nose. He just holds him off there at the end. Ran a 93 buyer there, which is a pretty good, but I don't see enough. I mean, I think that was just a weird race. I mean, he had never run anything close to that. So I just don't think he can get back to that speed. I don't think he can do that again.
Not in this race.
And then the Invitational, the Japanese Invitational horse you get in because he won the points. He actually didn't win the points competition in Japan. The top 2 finishers in the points in Japan declined to come over. So Continuar gets in. He finished 3rd in the UAE behind Derma Sotogake. And we don't have any speed figures on him, but what I watched him run in the UAE, I don't think there's enough there to do anything here. I think he sits in the back, never gets anywhere, unless they try to send him. But I don't know if he's got the speed to get there from the 20 post.
This is one of those also ran horses.
Yeah. At the end of the race, also ran. So we don't have a rich strike situation.
I don't think they'll let that happen again. Not for a couple years.
What?
The rich strike deal. I don't think in this big of a race. Which there's something. I mean, I bet that track made a ton of money.
Oh, well, I mean, they can't help it. If somebody scratches, one of these 3 horses have to get in.
Yeah, I get that, but all right. So I wanted to go back.
So your also eligibles are Cyclone Mischief is first up if somebody scratches. Mandarin Hero gets in if 2 horses scratch, and then King Russell is your third also eligible. If you have 2 scratches come Friday or Saturday, watch out for Mandarin Hero. He'll probably be one I add in some exotic bets if he gets in the race.
Yeah. So if you're new to horse racing and you want to watch the Derby and have a few drinks and you ain't got shit to do Sunday afternoon, so you hear us talk about pace setting and all that and how we bet and why we bet what we bet and what. So it's a lot. You have to in your mind try to figure out how the race is going to go. So what I have here is what a pace projection is considered. It's like 23 seconds and a quarter mile, and they'll post this stuff. Is considered to be fast. Anything under that or around that. Is that fair?
Wait, what now? Tell me that again. What did
Quarter,
you say?
quarter
I
mile,
missed you.
23 seconds and a quarter mile.
Oh, and a quarter mile. Yeah, 43 and a
then
half a mile.
43 and a half. Anything around that number is considered. Anything under those numbers is
It's
fast.
blazing. Yeah.
But if they're at 24 or 25 seconds, in which they probably, but around quarter mile, then that means that your front runners are probably in really good shape.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to, as you're watching this stuff, if you decide to start betting horses, and you're trying to cap it, which is, have a plan going in this stuff. That's the biggest thing.
Decide if you think there's going to be pace, if you think there's quick runners, or if there's not. If they're all closers, oh boy.
Yeah. No. So anyways, those numbers are what you want to be looking for, and that's why they announce those numbers as they come to the quarter pole, half pole, so you know where they're going, and they'll tell you too. Oh, they're flying or whatever.
Yeah.
That means that 50 or 60 to 1 that runs really hard at the end you watch him. So anyways,
All right, so Paul gave you what he thought the order of finish would be. My top 4 horses here probably are Skinner, Practical Move. I can't even get it down to 4. My top 5 horses are Skinner, Practical Move, Angel of Empire, Forte, and Dermasotogake. And the problem being, there's no way in hell 4 of those 5 are going to finish 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be a horse get caught up, have a bad trip. Yep. There's going to be a jockey that says, we can't get there. Yep. I'm not going to kill this horse. I'm going to save him for races later.
And between Angel Empire and Forte, one of those horses will run out.
Yeah, so you got to decide which one you're going to keep in, which one you're going to toss out. Yep. Or is it going to be an authentic tis the law type of deal where the 2 horses you like best come down to the wire together? So I'm looking at something like probably Angel of Empire, Dermasotogake. I think I want to toss Verifying in there because I think he's got good early speed. I just need him to break early and stay up there and set a modest to honest pace, not a fast pace. If he can set an honest pace and not kill himself up front, if Reincarnate doesn't try to go hard, then you got a shot. Or if King's Barnes gets up there and just kind of sets an easy pace, not too fast, but not too slow. Don't need a slow pace for sure. Then I like my Angel of Empire and Dermasotogake to come in there. Skinner to pick up some pieces late when other horses start falling out. And we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm building so you get a 15 to 1, a 20 to 1, an 8 to 1, and a 10 to 1 in a 4-horse superfecta. Yeah. But I'm not going to overcomplicate this, Paul.
Angel of Empire.
My top pick is Angel of Empire just because, just because. We've seen him. We like him. We know what he can do. And I love to see a horse to finish the way that he finishes and his gallop out past the wire. I think he's going to have a big day. And I hope he has a big day. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. I hope his odds stay there.
Probably going to get 9 to 2, which I hate. So, again, I may go throw a win and play show bet on a different horse just to win. You know what I mean? I'm still going to throw money on Angel of Empire. Yeah. But it won't mean I won't go throw out some money on, say,
Skinner.
What if Practical Move moves up to 12 to 1? You're going to give me Practical Move, who I think is one of the best horses in the race, at 12 to 1?
Yeah, there's a lot of folks think that horse is going to win this race.
That's like an authentic. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't see him coming. Yeah. So I'm super excited about it. We're going to be there all day. Hopefully, we'll send some pictures. We'll try to do some pictures and send them on Twitter this time.
We'll be at the casino. We won't be at the track.
No, yeah, we're going to be at the casino. We're going to be at the Gold Strike there in Robinsonville, having a big day. Going to have everybody there. I'll definitely send you some pictures when I get all dressed up and have the hat. The wife's got a dress and she got a hat, and so we're going to be having a really good time this coming Saturday. So, is there anything else that you want to mention? Before we get out of here?
No, I was gonna kind of go. I had some notes on the Oaks, but
Oh yeah, go ahead. We got a little time.
I don't have them with me. I failed miserably.
You don't have your Oaks notes?
The only one is Gambling Girl, but I think she's gonna finish last. But I still made better.
There's a horse. I think he's the number 4 horse. The Oaks is all the fillies. I think she's 8-1. Maybe 3rd or 4th choice on the board is South Lawn. I looked at them a little bit, and I think I would end up on South Lawn in the Oaks for Friday. Yeah. Now, there's a bunch of races I like. Friday. Oaks is Friday.
We can post that stuff out on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll try to make sure we put it out there. And look, if you're pulling for a story, you're not going to win any money. Why isn't it showing everything?
I don't know.
What's going on over here?
I don't know.
I can't remember which race it is, but it's like race 9, race 10, race 11. It's before the Derby. It is on Saturday. A horse named Cody's Wish is going to be running Saturday. If you haven't watched the story about Cody's Wish, go Google it. Go take a gander at that. They did the story last year during the Breeders' Cup. And so if you're a fan of crime, go take a look and watch it. And then look out for Cody's Wish come Saturday. I know I'll be rooting for him, and it'll be a lot of fun there. All the pick 4s, if you like picking you like picking multiple races, you got all the opportunity come Saturday. You got 4 pick 4s from race 2 to 5, race 5 to 8, race 9 to 12, and race 11 to 14. So, Paul, you going to get on them all, or?
Probably.
I hate when they go back to back, like the first 2 bookend with race 5, first 2 pick 4s.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then the next ones, none of them do. You got one that starts at race 9, ends at 12. Oh, no. The last 2 overlap.
No, of course they do.
And we lost Paul. His camera's going crazy.
Am I back?
Oh, there's he back. Yeah, he's back now.
I got a massage.
A mess. So there you go. There's the Derby show. We went down all the horses. So remember, when you're out there betting, you can get over there at the casino and get you some 10-cent supers, get you some 50-cent tries, 50-cent exactas, where you pick a couple of horses. You take 3 horses, and hopefully 2 of them finish 1-2 for an exacta. You can pick 3 to 4 horses, 5 horses, and hope 3 of them finish in a trifecta. You can take 4 horses for a super and throw 10 cents at it. You never know what you'll get. If all 4 of them finish top 4, you could hit big, especially if they're at big prices. So I guess we're going to end it there. Again, I think we both ended on Angel of Empire, so we look forward to rooting on Angel come Saturday. So thanks for joining us, and Paul, what we got coming up?
I don't know. That's pretty much dead season, isn't it? We got horse racing, and we don't really do NBA basketball. Grizzlies are out, so
yeah. How much fun was that?
Draft's over. Like everything about that. Probably August, late July. Yeah, well, we'll do the horse racing, but like college football wise, we'd probably maybe start August, 1st of August, doing a little bit of something.
Probably before that, maybe doing our conference previews.
Yeah.
Don't they start playing? No, I guess we do the 1st of August. Yeah, start doing our conference previews in the 1st of August. So we'll look forward to that. So thanks for joining us for the Derby show, and good luck on Saturday. Hope you cash all the tickets. I know we'll have plenty. We'll probably have a big pile of losers and hopefully a big pile of winners. So thanks for joining us on Cash Your Tickets. Until next time, we'll see you.
Bye.